You ever heard of Ubisoft? Yeah, that company that's doing absolutely stellar right now. Yeah, that's soft. Back when the company had creativity and originality bursting at the seams, they had decided to copy off Resident Evil and make Cold Fear. Crazy enough, they released it in March 15th when Resident Evil 4 was just released in January. Why am I talking about this 20-year-old game? I played it this week, and that's why, and you're in for a ride with me. And I was confronted with an experience I won't forget, for the good, and the very, very bad, and the ending, which left me speechless in a very bizarre way. I've never had a game hit me with such a bizarre failure in narrative design that I'm stunned. Still, this game is a time capsule of Ubisoft trying something out of the box. Something we don't see nowadays. Was this game good? We'll find out. No boulder punch. I'm gonna have to disagree with your 7 out of 10 score, and you'll all see why. To start this game from the Steam library right after your hard-earned $10 is on your own mistake. Thanks Steam for providing me with literal unplayable games. Anyway, to get this game running, it's a bit of a nightmare. First, the screen resolution, that I didn't even notice was actually launched because it was basically a 1x1 pixel on my desktop. I rummaged around the internet and pulled out a full screen mod, and credit to this dude who makes full screen patches for games almost nobody cares about anymore. A real hero. Next, I found the game is way too fast. So fast, in fact, that the cutscenes outpace the audio and leave these motionless gaps in the game where Tom Hansen here is miming out the future before his own voice gets to it.
Hang on, I'll meet you at the pilot house.
No, it's not safe. Look, the seas are too rough for us to dock with the oil rig, yes?
What are you getting at?
The only way we can get on board is to climb up to the crow's nest and then jump when we get close.
Oh crap, we're gonna hit the platform, aren't we?
That will make jumping easier, won't it?
You're out of your mind, woman!
Alright, I guess I have to cap the frame rate to 60, that's fine. Also, don't even think for a second you can have a second monitor, or have fun only being able to turn one direction. Without any more preamble, let's finally take a look back at Cold Fear. The game starts off with a very pretty and timeless pre-rendered cutscene. A charming factor of this whole game is how great these look. A group of Secret Service ops drop into this piece of junk ship in the middle of the ocean during a severe thunderstorm and are quickly dispatched. So instead of sending any more trained personnel, they send in Tom Hansen. He and his crew of Coast Guards head to the ship and search it over. Here, I am blown away by the presentation of the game. A genuinely impressive ship physics system. This is something they focused on in the E3 reveal, and it's no surprise why. I find it funny this interview with the game designer looks like he's basically in the shower. Do we need to send help? They really wanted to emphasize the feeling of the storm in the ocean, and I absolutely loved every moment of the environment outside. It's this game's strongest point. Heading up to the crane control room, I get a little scared what's to come. I'm sold, man. Bring it on. It's not long until the voices of my team are picked off on the radio, quickly leaving me and Hansen to the storm. Breaking an electrical system gets me inside the ship, and I find I'm not the only ones having a tough time. Instantly, the Russian crew start blasting me. You'd think in this dire situation they'd have a little self-preservation and not hide behind a flammable barrel. I drop the clones, and I hear this Russian woman throwing a complete fit in a locked room, demanding she set free. Unable to help her now, I move on and scour for supplies. And in answer to all this bloodshed, the atmosphere is amazing. It never lets me forget I was on a ship in the middle of the storm. Some rooms that got a lot more effort into them have a ton of personality, making it lived in. I get to my first save room. Now you might be wondering, how do I save in this game? Where's the save station, the save menu option? That's kind of the thing. There isn't one. Yep, no saving. And the only time you can is jerk. The only time you can save is when the game decides it. And that could be 10 minutes between saves or 10 decades. It sucks, as you'll see in a second. I manage to get a key card and go deeper into the crew quarters of the ship. When I turn on the sprinklers, I take a mandatory damage from an idiot who threw himself through the flames at me, and I die instantly. Alright, you know what, that's fine. I'll just reload a checkpoint and... Wait a second. Excuse me? What? Not only are there no manual saves, the game never, not even once, gives you a courtesy checkpoint. And this is the most downright diabolical problem of the game, besides the ending. Alright, I start from scratch with a new game. I go back in. This path gives us access to the front of the ship, where we encounter the clone quarters. I call them this since every single person in this entire game that is not a main character looks exactly the same. There's 2 characters in this game. We'll say maybe 3, but man, it's just the same enemies constantly. We find Lansing, our captain, with a higher tier keycard, and he isn't faring very good. But something's in the room with us.
At least I found the code. Me! Holy...
And finally, God, we get to save. Now the game goes all out to throw the new enemies at us in combination with the Russian crew. With Lansing's card, we get to the radio room. I love Hansen, he's a shining star of this game, and he's charmed me immediately. It's that perfect budget voice actor that somehow is the most genuine and believable one in the group. Every line makes me grin. A lot of modern voice acting is like that kind of anime voice acting, if you want to call it, like the voice dubbing. It feels so forced. But Hansen has that complete deadpan reaction of like just an everyman. The radio CIA guy tells me to go find a man in charge of the ship in the rear deck house. With my new AK I found out that it works like a hose. Clicking it just once, the trigger unloads until you click again. What a freaking weird design. Another save, thank God.
Здравствуйте.
Speak English. It doesn't matter now.
What's going on here, Colonel?
A terrible mistake. Find Anna. She has answers.
Where is she?
Locked up for protection after that idiot Captain Lubensky hid in the cold storage. Now here, take this experimental. The bolts are chemically treated to distract them. It may save your life.
We get the bolt gun, a completely useless gun that just distracts enemies. I used it only when I was empty. After killing the parasite, I go off and get Anna from the locked room. The CIA guy on the radio seems desperate for Hansen to not save Anna, but Hansen, the ladies' man, decides to get her out. After plenty of fighting, getting lost, exploring, learning about weird biocapsules in the hold, I finally get Anna out.
I think you and I are linked, Hansen. We will both make it through this, or neither of us will.
I vote for both.
Got an ID on the girl. She's Viktor Kamsky's daughter. It is vital that you keep her alive.
Anna!
What a weird, what a funny game over screen. Turns out Anna's the head scientist's daughter, and when you turn the corner, the safe room gets blown up with all the ammo and health now gone. The tension is racked up. I take Anna to the radio room and she plans to call her father on board the drilling platform. The combat takes a heavy turn, like going from Resi 2 to 4. Pure action game now. Not much scares. The storm plays an awesome role in throwing me all over the place and making it a challenge to fight. Especially this one spot where you come outside and the ship tilts backward towards enemies. It's almost a precursor to Dead Space with having a unique challenge when aiming. Anna tells me to shut off the autopilot and set us back towards her father on the drilling platform. Now these little buggers are the worst. Worse than any other enemies in the game. A pure, slight, glancing touch like a parallel parking in your mom's car results in half your health gone. Great, love that when they throw hundreds of them at me in a confined space with other enemies. Great design. This game is obsessed with backtracking, and it hit me here. I've ran over the same rooms 10 plus times. This is how your objective will usually go. It's like, okay, go here, then go back. Then your path is blocked, now go the long way back. Then go here, then now that you're all the way back, now go all the way back. It wears on you. It's only been an hour, and you may be thinking it's just because the ship is small, but that doesn't change later, as you'll see with the drilling platform. I unlocked the autopilot for Anna, and apparently the sea is too rough to dock. Remember this. Remember that the sea is too rough to dock. That's very key, and everybody forgets it, including the devs. But Anna suggests jumping. From the crow's nest, mind you.
You're out of your mind, woman!
With one final combat encounter, we go up to the top to do this stupid plan.
You sure you want to do this?
It's our only chance.
How did I know you were going to say that? Now! Made it!
Hansen!
Anna, hang on! You're out of your mind, woman! Shit!
And well, she's dead. Pack it up, Hansen. Time to go. Why did we not just jump from there? Right there, right there. Although Hansen is so worried about chipping his manicure that he can't go up this little jump and has to take the brutal ocean way around to the front, wouldn't surprise me that he wouldn't take the easy way. Like, this part of the game completely falls apart. It's just slowly degrades more and more. The game takes such a stark turn here. Now being on the oil rig, the waves don't actually affect your shooting, so now it's just boring basic third-person combat. It has no change to make it more interesting and brings out how mundane it is. The gameplay loop is just rudimentary. Getting infected, Hansen eventually runs into a scientist on board, who administers a cure and gives us information.
You're alive. Good. There's only a little time to inject the antidote after infection. So now tell me whose life I just saved. You know Anna, yes?
No. She's gone. I'm Tom Hansen, USCG.
You bring terrible news. Did she tell you about this place at all?
No.
And yet you came here anyway. Then I must tell you. Kamsky, Anna's father, and I were sent here to study the exocells when they climbed up onto the platform. Maybe the drilling woke them up, eh? We were told to learn what they were and how to control them. But Kamsky went past that. He wanted to use them. And this is the result. It will kill us all.
Where's this radio jammer I heard about?
The doctor promptly tries to tell us something between his shoes. What an odd bug. And then he gets killed by something in the vent. At this point, I'm getting so sick of the normal enemies. They're not fun to fight in the slightest. And if you're fortunate enough to have a heart attack and die before finding the dog enemy, you'd be doing yourself a favor. Did I mention this game is so dark you can't find your own dick between your legs? Dude, why? This is the recommended brightness according to the little test. And only one of your guns is a flashlight. And to go back into the menu, it crashes my game, so I'm not taking the risk. I eventually reached the best part of the rig, the broken walkway completely covered in traps, and the weather effects are back, making it really suspenseful, especially after so long before a save. Getting to the other side, you run into a good firefight. Fighting the humans is a world more fun than the infected. They actually use tactics, and of course they shoot back. It's a shame they show up so little. When this game isn't trying to be a poor man's Resident Evil, it's basic fun. I beat the general and pluck out his eye for the retinal scanner to get me access deeper into the place. On my way to break the anti-radio EMP the CIA guy told me to break, I get the flamethrower. A useless addition. Does nothing. Look at how poor the range is on this thing. Just forget about it. I'm suffering at this point. I don't understand how they thought of designing a game that will actively put the wrong direction in front of you. You could spend an hour in the wrong direction and not know it. But the weird part is when you are on the ship with so little room for error, Hansen will always be like, oh, this is the wrong way. I should turn back. Even when it's like you look in the wrong direction. They don't prevent you from going anywhere you shouldn't. And you may think that's creative, but you'll just be in empty hallways, no enemies. The enemies are only on the path you're supposed to be going. I get a call from the CIA guy after breaking the EMP, and he's obsessed with getting the data for the experiments. Of Of course, in classic storytelling fashion, the CIA guy, the government wants all the information. Yeah, we've all heard this. It's even overdone at the time this game came out. And after crying about Anna, who we knew for a whopping 3 minutes, but she had breasts, so you know what, maybe I get it. We see Anna is fine. In this. In this storm, the cutscene shows some of the most still ocean water ever. Her dad, all gross and transformed, saves her and puts her right in view of our camera for us at the exact perfect time to see her get infected. Gee, that's awfully fortunate. Hansen, after getting his own antidote a while back, decides to go get one more for Anna before she dies. I fiddle around in the depths of the place and eventually fall down this meat anus. You can't convince me that's not a bowel. And after taking this fall, Hansen is infected for a second time. Wowie zowie. Now who's gonna get the cure? I guess we'll have to find out. Bright side is we get this cool underwater passage under the place. I love the effects down here, it's pretty. And we run into a new creature that is basically just a little annoying prick. Wait, why the heck is he a manlet? He's a little twerp. Oh, and a pushover too. I managed to get a cure and make my way to Anna. I am suffering more and more as I play this. The game is dragging its feet and the combat is abysmal. It all plays the same, everything's blurring together. It doesn't even feel good or satisfying, like something as standard as by the books as Uncharted is. I drop in this pool, and 2 invisible guys are here, so I decide to fire a grenade. That was my fault. Alright. Wait, where was my last save? Why? On my way to Anna, again, we get a new enemy type. You shoot his arm and it's over instantly. Wow, what the actual hell is going on with this design? It's like totally different people made this part of the game. Did anyone test this? Anybody? Or were we just making it as we went? This really is Ubisoft at their finest, wasting my time for more playtime. Alright, Tom Hansen, the super simp, decides to give Anna the cure. I mean, wow, what a surprise. And for that reward, his Russian OnlyFans girl Anna just leaves him there on the floor. Excuse me? And in true simp fashion, he calls the CIA guy to take care of her so that he could sacrifice himself. Dude, I'm crashing out. What is wrong with this game? Like, the story has just blatant empty parts to it. Why'd she just leave him there on the floor? Well, only a few decades later, she checks in on him through the radio, just returning the favor. What? Dude, is Hansen just out here for a crumb of pussy? The guy is down bad. And jokes aside, this conflicts with his entire persona of the whole game of douchebag hero. Like I said, it feels like someone else took over the game. Alright, after an hour of backtracking over the same areas, this enemy intro drops me to 1 health by putting a barrel right in my path. Fine, I'm good. I beat him and head into the next room. And from the ceiling, completely out of sight, no way to predict it, one of the little parasites kills me with the moment I load into the room. Where in God's name was my last save? I get back and I say screw it to the CIA guy and don't give him the info. Then I ask Anna if we can blow the rig up, which involves more of the exact same areas I've already been, almost nothing new. Then we have a rip-off of Half-Life 1, we set the charges and run away blowing half the rig up. Anna tells me to meet her up at the helipad for the last bomb and our escape. And at this point, I was ready to overdose on a bottle of sleeping pills and be done with it. And then we get a boss fight with Anna's muty dad. The only, and I mean the only way to not get hit is to just run left. Run left the entire fight. That's all you gotta do. And then when Anna gets the charges set, you fight him off to the end. It's a miserable fight where now he flings you super far and can kill you in 1 hit if he knocks you over the side. And what happens if you die? You start from the very beginning of the fight, having to defend Anna again for what feels like my entire life. Who designed this? Who even tested this? Did anyone test this? And Hansen says this guy seems invincible. I'm going to have to get closer. Close and personal. And what happens when you do that? You get curb stomped into the floor and set off the platform. What? What the hell am I playing? Was everyone on the dev team coordinating different things? Was there any coordination whatsoever? The dialogue is wrong, the gameplay is wrong, and the story is wrong. They're three separate things. They somehow, even in this finale cutscene, give Hansen an entirely different gun model than he's used in the entire game and cover art. How do you mess up this bad? Did they work backwards? And finally, I get him.
Hurry, get in.
Let's get out of here. It's all right. I'll take care of this.
Papa, I'm sorry.
Goodbye, Papa.
You're kidding, right? I am not.
Yep, that was the ending of the game. And it's not edited. That's how abruptly it ends. And get this, you will not believe this oversight. Tom Hansen is still infected. Did we just forget that little detail? No ending explanation, nothing. Are you kidding me? That's it. Did we just forget that? Can you imagine if you spent more than $10 on this back in the day and that was your experience? That is a major gap in the story. Now there seems to be a sad part of the story here too, and I'm gonna have to piece together it myself. To find anything on this game is like trying to convince someone Bigfoot exists. A few blurry pictures, some drawings, but the game has a bonus section. This showcases development art for the game. The logo is even different here. Leaning into that Russian vibe, and the cold aspect seemed to be more focused on a wintry experience. The main characters were even dramatically different. Look at this picture. I would have played that game, man. Look how cool some of this monster variety would have brought to the game. There was a game here, and it looks like it would have been awesome. A true contender with the other big shot survival horror games to actually make it stand out. But sadly, whether it was development time, issues in the team itself, or downright incompetence, it's hard to know. It feels as if they got halfway through development and had to scrap it and start from scratch. I really don't know. But for the game we got, it was not good. A poorly written story that followed the most basic tropes and turned on itself in the end. A gameplay loop that was boring after the first hour no matter what enemies threw in. And a design philosophy that was a complete misunderstanding of the genre. Looking back on Cold Fear, it did teach us something. That just taking what may seem like good aspects of what's popular at the time or what's to come out does not mean a good execution or an understanding of what made its competitors so good. Just think and ask yourself, why is Resident Evil 4 so beloved? Well, this game is not. They have some of the same things, play the same sometimes. But is that really all it takes? A visage of a good game? Cold Fear was not a good game, but it's definitely an interesting timepiece, especially from a publisher like Ubisoft. And so if you want to try it, hey, it's there for you. It's a fun game to blow in like a night, you know, with your buddies talking. I wouldn't put too much stock in this game, guys. It's definitely below a 5. But, you know, $2 on sale, why not? And that was Cold Fear 20 years later. Gee, I really went in this with the best of intentions, guys. I didn't mean to make such a miserable video. Although I am a miserable individual, that's kind of how it goes. I try to keep it positive, but man, this game sucked. Well, I hope you enjoyed my suffering. Next video shouldn't take too long. Doing a bit of a social experiment. It's been terrible. Another miserable video. Get ready for another miserable video. I mean, I am the deranged doomer after all. But have a wonderful week, everyone. Stay positive, stay happy, and consider doing what helps me out in the algorithm. Good night.